What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again with another video, and as y'all can tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that's something I really don't want to be talking about, and that is how I think Kefir is slowly killing LDOE, the game that I've loved for almost almost 8 years at this point. A game that I've spent about 4 years making content on, and a game that I think can still make a comeback to be a extremely popular game, but it's not going to be easy. If you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe. It is free. You can always change your mind later. There are no hard feelings. Anyway, with all of that said, let's get right into the video. So, in order to understand how the game fell off, you kind of have to first understand where it started and how it got back up to its popularity. The game was released in, I believe, 2017, and at the time it wasn't necessarily crazy popular as it was a new indie zombie survival game that was coming out, but it was, for a brand new game by an independent company, growing at a pretty good rate. Such a good rate to the point where it was the 2017 Android Game of the Year. So basically, anytime you open the app on your phone, it will have like a little notification saying it was the 2017 Game of the Year. And that's honestly, to me, pretty cool. So obviously some people liked it. I know for a while back when I'd play this game back in 2021, 2020, people would see me playing it and be like, oh yeah, I used to play that game back in 2018. And that'd always be the reaction I got. The game was actually a very, very popular game. And then as time would go on, they'd release updates such as the bike update. They'd introduce locations like the farm, the police station, the gas station, and just a bunch of updates like that would keep the fan base growing and the fan base engaged. I remember when they first introduced Twitch drops, which, if you guys don't know what Twitch drops are, is you'd watch a official partner. Every 30 minutes, 10% of viewers would get a random prize in your inbox. I know one of the motorcycle skins, I think it's the Leviathan skin, you are only able to get through Twitch drops, which are unfortunately no longer a thing for now. But when they first introduced Twitch drops, there were streamers averaging 100, 150, 200 viewers every single stream. And that was just for the American ones. I know there's one streamer who would get like 500-600 views a stream, which might not seem like a lot, but for LDOE, that is a crazy big amount of people watching. Me personally, I think LDOE peaked when they released the ATV. That was, and probably still is, the most anticipated update that did not disappoint. If you think about that update, it was so full, and there was so many people playing it because they finally added something that everyone was asking for. It's kind of crazy how the devs add what people want, and people will play the game. I know that's a crazy concept, but that is how it works. Also, around this time the creator started popping off, they pretty much completely changed the way the creator happened, and multiplayer was thriving. When I tell you, there'd be hours, like 4 or 5 hours I'd play just on multiplayer, because there was so much new stuff to do, so many other people doing the exact same thing. It was honestly an experience that I hope one day will come back. But around this time it peaked is also around the time it started its downfall. And I think one of the main causes for the downfall, or at least where it started, was with the start of Season 1. I remember when the seasons were first introduced. It was in about, I think, 2019, late 2019, like the summer of 2019. I could be wrong, but it was around that time. And it wasn't like, oh, the seasons were released and the game started immediately following the moment that the update was out, because the ATV update that I mentioned just a moment ago was like the event for Season 3. Like, Season 3 was the ATV update, and then I know the creator update that pretty much brought everything to the way it is now was, I believe, Season 7, and then all the seasons before that would have unique storylines. Like, I think Season 6 was the robbers season, where you had to break into a prison and you'd take stuff. And then I think Season 8 was the winter event, where they'd have like a winter-oriented season. And the thing is, the seasons then are completely different from now, because they were all centered around one event. They weren't one starts right after the other one ends. So, for example, Season 1 would happen, and then you'd wait 2 or 3 weeks for Season 3 to come, or Season 2 to come out. But as the way it is now, as soon as season 66 ends, season 67 starts, and that is not a joke. I think we're on like season 67 now, which is wild because they started doing it every 3 weeks. The season resets, and I think it was after season 15, season 16, they started doing the seasons the way they are now, where they didn't have a unique identity, which made the seasons before that fun. It was just, here's the exact same season pass that you're going to get for every single season. Every 3 weeks, you're going to get this exact same thing that resets. And yeah, they changed some things to incorporate new rewards, like new skins, new dogs and stuff, but for the most part, it has remained the same to the way it is right now. And then it feels like, to me, ever since the seasons have started, the devs have just gotten lazier. I mean, all the 90% of the updates, I feel like, have just been temporary events or new season events, which I will say those are something I do like, are season events, but I think there's a better way to do the season events. And then since the seasons have come out, I think we've gotten 3 real permanent locations, being the port laboratory, I think, was around the season time, the transport hub, and then of course the laboratory in the port, and then the locations above it, the resource zones, which, yeah, that sounds like it was a decent amount of stuff to be updated, but that was in the span of 4 or 5 years that stuff was introduced. I mean, the most recent real update that we got was the transport hub that we got well over a year ago at the time of me recording this. The only thing I can do is hope that they're making another update behind the scenes that'll come out soon, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like they're putting too much of their focus in temporary events. For example, the fair. I like the fair, but you can make the fair a permanent event, something like the airdrop or the dealer, or hell, even make it a permanent location and up its difficulty. It does not need to be an event that's brought back once every month or every 2 months. And with all of these reasons, you can tell that LDOE is at a all-time low. There's been no updates coming out. Hardly anyone plays it. People have said that the game is dead, and to be honest, I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree either. I mean, if you look at LDOE on YouTube, their biggest creators, Happy Cyric and Star Snipe, are hardly making any videos anymore, because what are they going to make videos about? There's nothing to do. And then look at Twitch, hardly anyone's streaming the game anymore, and everyone who is streaming the game is getting 15 as opposed to the 150 they used to get. The only thing that makes me think that LDOE still has an active community is A, the fact that I still am getting some views on these videos, so I know it's not just like 2 or 3 people playing the game, and B, on the Discord, there's still a chat that's pretty much active 24/7. So that makes me think, yeah, people are still interested in the game, people still want to play the game, they just have to update the game. And so this is my advice for Kafir. Kafir, if anyone is watching this video, this is what you need to do. Seasons. That's the first step. Make them a little bit longer. Make them 4 weeks, make them 5 weeks, and then add new events. Or better yet, make it where some events are only some seasons, to where you don't know what events you're going to get. Because the way it is now is the first event of the season is always the port, and then after a week of the season you get event A, and then after 2 weeks you get event B. It's always the same order of events that you're going to get. I think a way that'd be cool is to mix it up, the events you're going to get. And then another thing to do with the season is different rewards. I think obviously the season pass should be good and the season pass should be beneficial, but there's a way you can do that without having the exact same rewards, because if you're just grinding for the same shit over and over, it's boring and no one's going to want to do it. I mean, yeah, it is good to have something to do in the back, so there is, yes, always something to do, but that something gets repetitive all the time. And at some point, it's honestly not worth the time you're putting in for the resources you get out. So fix that with the seasons. That's number 1. Number 2, new locations. I mean, obviously, I know new locations aren't going to be something that's easy to do. I spent 2 years in a programming class, and I know that stuff is not easy, but you guys are professionals. So stop focusing your time on new dog breeds. Stop focusing your time on events. Stop focusing your time on new resources or new workbenches. We need new locations, new stuff to do. Put out Bunker Charlie. Put out a hospital location. There's so much stuff that can be added that'll bring the game back, but the one thing that I want added so bad that I can pretty much guarantee will bring the game back is get the crater going again. When multiplayer was at its peak, I feel like the game was at its peak. The way the crater is now, the economy is ruined, there's hardly anything to do, PvP is sweaty, so what I think you need to do add higher PvP rewards. So I think the highest level you can go for the dog tags is 30. Get it to level like 50 or 60. Add more PvP locations, so it's not just the one map. If you add more of a variety, then people will play it more. And then just add more rewards. And then obviously this is going to be a long time in the future, but if Kefir really wants to bring it back to its popularity that it was in 2017, tear down the wall.
Tear down this wall.
Combine multiplayer and single player. Turn single player into a multiplayer part of the game. I can guarantee that if that happens, there will be a 7-8 times player increase. And I don't know if you realize this, but a player increase also means more people spending money on the game. So in the end, it will help all parties. It'll make players have more stuff to do, more stuff to enjoy the game, while as the devs are still getting paid. Whilst there's still a lot of other things I think they can do to help bring the game back, the only other one I kind of want to mention in this video is a small thing. Bring Twitch drops back. If people have a reason to engage and watch Twitch streams, then that'll help build LDOE's community so much, because that's what it's lacking right now, is a community. So this is a way that'll help the community and help people want to play the game more. So Twitch drops, I don't know why they were even removed in the first place. Just add them back. And that's the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, you can like the video or dislike the video. There are no hard feelings. If you guys ever have any questions, you can leave them in the comments down below, or in the description is a link to the Discord where you can ask questions there. And then also I plan to have stuff there, like that's where I'll host any giveaways I ever do. If I ever do any videos like rating subscribers bases, then that's where those will be hosted. So join Discord, link in the description. There's no negative to it, so you really have nothing to lose. But anyway, y'all, that is all from me. I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of y'all's day. I'm out. Peace.